It's been 365 days, a full rotation around the sun, and however many fucking episodes later, Co-Flop Gaming has officially turned 1 year today.
Woo! Cue the mañanitas. Woo! Happy birthday.
All right, let's get straight into it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Co-Flop Gaming.
1 year edition. It's your boy Augie, also known as the Don Pachis here, as one of the hosts of Co-Flop Gaming.
What's up, y'all? I'm your very special player number 2. My name is Eric, a.k.a. Talej. Man, bro, a whole year.
That's crazy.
I remember when this was just an idea we had at work.
Yeah, and you thought that was a stupid idea at first.
I did think it was a stupid idea. Then a week later, I came back up to you and was like, hey, you serious about that podcast?
And here we are today, a year.
A year and some later, bro.
It's been a whole different experience for sure. I mean, we got to meet different types of people, different sponsors, different ideas, different mentalities in gaming. And I guess we got to know our partners a little bit more with this. So I think for sure, if it, at least for a year, I think it was for definitely something.
Hell yeah. I think we've covered a lot. And I think we just scratched the surface of what we could really become, you know? Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of great moments and met a lot of great people along the way.
Yeah, and I hope we meet more, and anything we look forward to with any more new episodes.
Hell yeah. I wanted to ask you, so as I said, we shot X amount of episodes. Mm-hmm. Out of all of them, which one would you say has been your favorite so far?
I think my favorite one so far would probably either be the Christmas special one or the one episode we played Clue. It was like the detective episodes. I think those two episodes are really good, just because it reached down to like more wholesome, but it also because our girls were like more crime and the more thriller stuff. So like they were able to like jump in more and like into the pool rather than dip their feet in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Because then that Clue episode was the first time I think we had airs on. Oh no, it wasn't. But it was the first time like we included all of them into a single game instead of just us playing. Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite episodes has to be, it was either the beer pong episode or the Valentine's Day episode.
The beer episode was really fun, especially like the challenge that you and Matt put on, and you followed through with that. That takes balls, bro.
Yeah, I think the reason I like the beer pong episode so much because it was just, I feel like that was the most genuine that we've ever shot, right?
Yeah,
like it was just boys being boys. Like beforehand, you and Matt were just going shot for shot. I'm like, hey, yo, we still got a show to film.
Oh, I know. That's crazy. I mean, I usually never do that. So the fact that I actually went shot for shot with them and shot the episode. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like that episode to me is one of my favorites just because like I feel like that's when it clicked for us, right?
Yeah.
Like if you listen to our first couple episodes, it just sounds like me asking questions and we're just trying to get through topics, right?
Yeah.
But then that episode, it just felt like you, me, and Matt just having a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it's a game that we play all the time. Like you have a beer pong table at home. I have a beer pong table.
We go through different parties, and they got beer pong tables. They got different rules, so it's just like all our experiences all in one go.
Yeah, and then we have Matt, who has a frat house. He has like 7 beer pong tables, but we won't get into that. And I think I really liked the Valentine's Day episode because it was like one of the first episodes where it's mainly about the social life of being a gamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Granted, like you and me are the ones who play the most, and yeah, like Eris and Mario, like they do play video games here and there, right? Mm-hmm. But then out of all of us, you and me, like we'll come home and be like, nah, I gotta play. You know what I'm saying?
And we definitely show like the two perspectives of the love life of like, you know, of like one partner, like the girlfriend and boyfriend, or girlfriend, whoever the partner is, boyfriend, no matter. And then the marriage perspective of you guys, you know, it's definitely a lot different. I know you guys are together and it still seems like you guys, it's just the title, but there is a big difference. And, and like, it shows them for like our audience, do those perspectives, and we were able to connect more into a broad audience and everything.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the times like stuff like that doesn't get talked about, right?
Yeah.
Like gaming reviews and play styles and technique and how-to videos are cool and everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. But then I felt like that episode was fun just because we got to see the inside of what it really takes to be with a gamer, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I know I have days where you and I are like, let's hop on, but then our partner's like, hey, can we actually do this? And said like, all right, cool. And that's why I feel like that episode meant a lot, because it dug deep to more than just gaming, because then it showed us our actual life outside of gaming, but also that includes gaming. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And then how we include them into our gaming life, and then how we can transition it so that way we meet both the expectations from both the partner exactly. And then our boys, waiting for us on Discord.
Hell yeah. What was I gonna say? Like, definitely those couple episodes that we just talked about, like there was a lot of moments that were talked about, right? Out of like all of our episodes, what would you say is a moment that you won't forget?
Jamie getting tricked into being called Phil. Goated.
Honestly though, yeah, I feel like that's something that's always talked about. Like, I remember one of our coworkers came up to us and said, hey, listen to your last episode, bro. I was like, yeah, for sure, bro. How did you like it? He was like, that Phil joke got me right away. If anyone's asking, what's the Phil joke? Listen to the episode.
And then another moment is definitely, it was cool. I think meeting Los for the first time, He's definitely one of your friends and one of your boys. I've never got to meet him, but having him on the podcast, it just felt like I've known him my whole life, just because of the experience he's talked about, and all the stories he's talked about being a streamer and everything. It put me into like a whole new world, a new perspective, but somehow I related to him because of like all the different backgrounds that he came to. It's like very similar to mine.
I would definitely say like bringing him on the show was pretty surreal, right? Because I met him because he DJs with Mariel and everything like that. And one day he came up to me, he was like, hey, I heard you got a podcast about gaming. Let me get on that shit. I'm like, fuck it, let's fucking go.
All aggressive and stuff.
And then like since then, like I don't regret it, right?
Yeah.
Like he came on the show, he brought a lot of energy, and like he brought out like the best in us. Like
he was very natural
as podcasters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like we look at this as just like we're trying to be like the best of the best, but in reality, we're just two dudes on a mic, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just like he brought that out of us, and it's like we all still stayed on topic, but it was pretty eventful. You know what I mean?
Oh, most definitely.
And it's like I don't talk to him about gaming at all, but that was the first time I really like got down with him about gaming, and it was just he talked about how it was streaming, how it was with COVID, and how it was trying to get your followers, build your community, and taught everybody like, you know what, everyone has a start, and this is where I started.
That's why I'm looking forward to all the new players on our podcast to be you like that, huh? New players on our podcast to actually like give them their perspective and show them their world, because I feel like it's like playing a new game. You learn their world, you see where they came from, and you get into it and see if you're like into that game. I mean, I think that's pretty dope, like coming from everyone.
I think that was beautifully said.
Thank you.
Also, if you guys didn't know, we call you guys players, by the way, for all of you guys watching.
All our players of Co-Flop Gaming.
Here. Yeah. I think a really special moment that I've had on the podcast. Where can I start? There were so many
iconic moments.
Very, very iconic moments. I think the best one was when, what was it? I forgot what episode it was, where we did Guess That Video Game, right? And we explained it poorly.
Oh.
And was the first time like everything clicked and Mariel got every single answer right. And I was just like, ain't no fucking way she has this memory to remember all these fucking games,
she got
bro.
The craziest ones too, and I was like, how?
I was like, and we're just making shit up on the fucking spot, and she fucking got it. I was like, ain't no fucking way. After so many episodes of flopping the easiest answers, this is what you fucking succeed at? I'm like,
you should be really proud of your wife there.
Fuck. Like that took me for a fucking spin.
Took everyone for a spin. I mean, that's why she's the fan favorite here for the players.
Hell yeah. Man, so much going on. I know in the beginning when we started all this, like we had our goals and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
But we never like really talked on camera.
No.
What were some of the goals that you created when we first started doing this?
So internally goals, I wanted to get much better on the mic, especially not being nervous, just talk all natural. You know how most podcasters, when other players listen to other podcasts, is like kind of like Super Mega, Game Grumps, podcasts with Joe Rogan, to other podcasts. I would listen to some of them, try to pick up some some lingo, try to pick up their natural ability of talking, and they just make it so natural compared to like most of us. But I think I'm getting used to it now.
Hell yeah.
And I think it's just having a good player, good partner with you to co-flop that, you know?
Hell yeah. I think some of the goals that I created when I came in here was to not take it so seriously, right? But then it's like build upon it, you know, like you and me created something and it's like something that we love to do all the time, right?
Yeah.
Granted, we're one of 5 million podcasts out there, but then for this one, I feel like we've created something and it's like we keep it going because we have the love for it now, you know what I mean?
It's building that foundation.
Yeah, so that I feel like that's where I wanted it to be. I just wanted an outlet for us to just talk about some shit, you know, like we talk all the time, but then like to put it into the public is something that we never really do, you know what I mean?
And it's great because there's other people probably think the same that we do, and it's just like I wonder if some people think like we do.
Exactly. So like that's why I feel was the biggest goal was seeing who's out there who's just like us, right?
Yeah.
Because then we always talk about how different we are, how weird we are, like what makes us stick out, but then
what games we grew up with playing games and stuff.
But then we never try to figure out like who's like us, who thinks like us, who's built like us, who plays like us. Like it's hard to find a good community.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, definitely, especially with how many communities there are, how much toxicness there is. You know, Coppola gaming should be like a safe space for everyone, regardless of like where they come from. Just because everyone goes up with different ways, it's always you always end up back at the game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I think that's the one thing that I've said that we accomplished so far. Like, I think we have built a pretty strong foundation in a community, and like we thank every single one of you that has been listening to this.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Granted, like to others, they might not think we have the biggest community, but we do have a lot of love on this podcast. And
a lot that shows it outside for sure.
Yeah,
even if
like,
it doesn't show with the numbers, it definitely does show in like in actions.
Yeah, and it's just kind of dope just to talk about this outside of work, right? They're like, hey, we just listened to your episode, and that was one of my biggest goals was just to connect with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a good icebreaker because you like if you don't know what we talk about, especially with new people, you're like, oh, I actually shoot a podcast.
Yeah,
and then they'll be like, oh wow, word, and then they talk to you about it, talk about their podcast, and then sometimes they even try to get your link for the podcast to listen to.
And it's just kind of nice just to create conversation. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, what do you guys talk about? Oh, you guys talk about games? Oh, I didn't know you could talk about that. Not that you can't talk about gaming, you know what I'm saying? But like, I didn't know that you guys talked about beer pong, card games, video games, and this
board games, every
you know what I'm saying?
Every variety of games. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, there was a lot that went on, and I feel like there's a lot more to come from us.
Oh yeah, especially with this open world of games that that's going to bring upon us and different communities,
and a lot of new releases. A lot of topics that we still haven't talked about. You know, like you and I still haven't even talked about like the console wars. You know what I'm saying?
And we always talk about it, always like hint it and tease it, but we never actually talk about it.
Exactly. And it's like you and I, like we grew up playing different things. So it's like console wars to you is a little bit different, right? Like granted, like now both of us play on PC. Yeah. Right. But then we grew up differently. Like
so you probably rock like what, Xbox, PlayStation? I probably rock like Nintendo and like Xbox or something.
I think you and me always had the same idea with Nintendo, but I think I rocked PlayStation more than I did Xbox.
I did Xbox, and then I added myself to PlayStation. That goes on to later episodes. So that's just a little teaser.
If you're a true gamer, you had the 360, the Wii, and the PlayStation 2 at least.
Yeah, I was like, that's literally like that my fucking streak. Yeah.
And you skipped the PlayStation 3 and went to Xbox 360, and you went back to the PlayStation 4.
And then I know where I just went to Game Boy.
Anyways, let's go back. Yeah, man, it's been fun. I can't wait to see what comes next, man.
What this whole year brings us, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another topic I wanted to talk about was we've talked about a lot. I know we throw topics up in the air all the time. Definitely. Which one were you the most excited to talk about?
The most excited topics that we talked about, I would say probably
pick a pen.
The games we played were like, growing up, I guess, like how you were so passionate about Pokemon and everything, and I told you about me as more fighting games. Yeah. As you know, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection just recently got released with saying it's coming out on digital and physical, which is a big deal in the fighting game community. Now, hopefully we'll get to talk more into that topic, but it's just the fighting game genre in general. Like, that's what I grew up with. And it's like you and me have grown to different genres growing up, but again, we come back to it of the genres that we come to because we played those games like Pokemon. I played Pokemon.
Yeah.
Probably not as serious as you did, but I got there. I know exactly what you went through. Understand the frustrations, the good times of it. And then you too, with like playing other fighting games like Tekken, like me, and you understand the frustrations, the hard work, and everything, and the fun of it. So
yeah, for surely. I think one of my favorite topics that we've talked about so far had to have been that episode we had with Deshaun, like, are you getting on? Like, creating like your lifespan of your day. Not your lifespan. What the hell? Creating your timeline throughout your day. Like, creating a plan for yourself, right?
yeah.
Like, when do you game? How do you game? How do you make time for this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause, like, we all have different lives, and it's just some struggle more than others. Some are further in life than others. Some have more free time. Some don't have free time. But then we find a way to make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that was one of my favorite topics, just because, like, in our Discord, like, I'm the one who's probably the least active now, just because, like, well, I think at the time of shooting, like, I was just married. I was focusing on my honeymoon. I was focusing on getting my house together. We got a new cat. Like, it was just so much going on that I was barely on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And just new career changes and all that good stuff.
There's a lot of changes just in life in general.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, you're not going to have time to game, which if the boys are cool in the community, like, they'll understand.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
they'll support you through thick and thin no matter what.
Yeah.
But you're always going to be having a controller ready to go or a place on the team ready to go whenever they need you.
And it's just kind of nice. Like, every time I hop back in, like,
It's like you never left.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's why that topic was so heartfelt for me.
Yeah, and so real.
Because it shows how you planned, right? And it showed even Deshaun plays less than I do.
Yeah.
But then it shows, like, no, I still make time even if it's just mobile gaming, this and that. Like, gaming is definitely a topic for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, a lot more to come, brother.
A lot more to come.
All right, I have a surprise for you. Usually you and I don't really play too much on our games.
Yeah.
But for our special 1 year, I wanted to come up with something special.
Ooh.
I came up with a co-flop questionnaire. It's going to ask tons of questions about each and every one of our episodes. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's
Let's
get it.
fucking get down.
Yee.
What's up, everybody? This is Talej. Have you ever had delicious chamoy covered gummies? No? Never? Well, now you can. A whole bunch of some located in the Bay Area can help you fill your craving for chamoy covered candy. My favorite is their spicy mango gummies. You can order them on Instagram at a whole bunch of something. And the best part is they deliver. Grab yourself a variety pack now. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. All right, y'all. We are here to the ultimate, probably not the ultimate, the most detailed co-flop gaming questionnaire. In this questionnaire, I'm just asking stuff about the show, right? Whether it be stuff we said on the show, items, or counts of how many times I said in this sentence alone is what Augie's going to be answering. There's no winner, there's no loser. It's all just for fun. At the end of the day, gaming comes down to fun, and this is what this is about. All right, Romano, you ready?
Yes, sir. Who wants to be a gamer now? Ready.
I'm gonna let you sit in that.
God.
All right. First question. What was the name of our first episode?
Name of our first episode. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I know I have it.
That smelly smell.
That smelly smell.
Smelly smell.
You know what? I don't know. What is it?
Our first episode was called The First Flop.
That's what I was thinking. It was, yeah.
Okay.
Something had to do with flop, that's for sure.
All right. Including this episode that we're filming now.
Yeah.
And our mini episodes. How many episodes do we have in total?
We have 16 episodes.
Close. We have 15.
Ooh.
So we have 13 episodes total because this is episode 13, and we have 2 minisodes.
Oh, it was 2. I could have sworn we had 3 minisodes.
I think we had 3, but we never published it for some odd reason.
Interesting.
That's what I said. Honestly, that was probably my fault. Okay. On our logo.
Technically, we have 17. There was a lost episode that we don't know about.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. that was user error. Okay. On our logo, What 3 objects are on there?
There's dice. There's a video game controller. And then there's a game piece, like a chess piece or something, like from Sorry, I think.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You got 2 out of 3. It's a playing card.
Oh, it's a playing
Yeah,
card.
the stuff that's on our logo is a gaming controller.
Yeah.
A playing card.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the Ace of Spades.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And then a 6-sided dice.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah, I should have said
But then
that
again,
first.
we did go through like 2 logo changes before I really like set in stone. Before we decided this is going to be the logo.
Was the first design had a gaming piece or no?
No, it had a I think a 16-sided dice or something like that.
Oh, well.
Something like that. I was like,
For D&D?
No. Okay. On episode 2, what character did we talk about?
Mario.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Our second episode was about Mario.
You know, I remember that from your wife.
Oh, God. How do you remember that from her?
Because she was just like, Mario.
Yeah. Okay. Each time we had a guest on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
I always ask them 4 questions. What are those 4 questions?
What is her name? What game did they like to play growing up? Maybe like what game they're playing now, possibly. And the last one would probably, favorite video game character. Just wild guess there.
Very close. So yes, I do ask them their name, but specifically I ask them their gamer tag.
Yep.
I ask them what their favorite genre is.
Okay.
And then I ask them what's their favorite game of all time.
Gotcha.
And yes, you got this one like to the T. What are you playing now?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So close, but not exactly.
Close,
but I get you.
Close. Okay. We've had the same theme song forever.
Mm-hmm.
What episode did we change our theme song?
The Christmas special.
Yep. Episode 6. It's a co-flop Christmas. We changed our theme song to be more Christmassy.
Very
Why?
Jingle Bells.
I don't know. That was your idea?
I asked for it.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. All right.
Thanks to Martian for making that mix for us. Appreciate you.
I asked her, I think, the week of to do it, and she goes, what the fuck?
Yeah. I remember that conversation, yeah.
I was like, hey, can you remix this into a Christmas song? She goes, what the fuck? All right. On our Halloween episode, what did we use as a gaming buzzer?
Had to be, I feel like something scary, no? Wasn't the phones. You know what? I don't know. What did we use as a gaming buzzer that day?
So we used a candy bowl and a knife.
Right, because the knife was in the middle, and whoever grabbed the knife was
yep.
the one who got the answer.
Yep, that's correct. All right. On episode 9, this one should be an easy one for you. I called out Matt. What was the bet and what was the punishment for the loser?
I'm sucking it. No.
God.
No, so he called him out. Was it you that called him out, or was it Matt that called you out?
I called him out.
You called him out on beer pong, saying you can beat him because you felt his wins were flawed and lucked, only to get proven wrong in the next game you played, sadly, and you had it down a 4 locos.
Correct. So on that episode, I called him out to a 1v1 beer pong game, straight up, meaning that no rebuttals, no re-racks. The first one to hit all their shot wins.
Mm-hmm.
I got him down to 1 cup. He got me down to 1 cup. I just couldn't hit the last shit every time. Every fucking time, bro.
And if you watch that episode of the beer pong, he even said it too. The one weakness is the 1 cup.
Mm-hmm. And look onto his socials. You'll see me down a 4 loco. Kind of, not really.
He didn't take 4 hours to drink that?
Nope. It took me 5 minutes. Anyways, next question. So we talked about a lot of different topics, right?
Yeah.
How many episodes did we not cover a game specifically, not including the mini episodes?
How many games did we cover?
I mean, how many topics did we cover that weren't like about a game? Like we weren't talking about Tekken, we weren't talking about Clue or anything like that.
This is a very broad question, but probably like a handful of topics, I think, because we had talked about movies.
If you were to give it a number,
probably 12, maybe.
It's going to be a little bit less. So, yeah, I know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
But I was going for, like, main topic, right?
Okay.
So,
probably seven topics, I think.
You're close. We technically only talked about 4.
Ooh.
Right? So, in episode 5, you getting on, we talked about planning, right?
Yeah.
And your life around gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas episode, we talked about gaming releases. What was your favorite games and everything around Christmas?
Yeah.
Episode 8, It Takes Two. That was our Valentine's Day episode. That's the one we talked about with Mariel and Eris. Like,
what would you plan?
What it's like to be with a gamer. And then episode 10, the one we had with Los, streaming in place. Like we talked about what it's like to be a streamer and how to be a streamer.
That makes sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I see what you mean with the main topics. Yeah. Okay.
Following this, we've had quite a few people on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Not including Mariel and Eris. How many guests have we had on the show? And who are they?
So we had Los, that's 1. We had Jamie, it's 2. We had Matt, and we had Deshaun. I feel like we're missing one more. Oh, we had Ricky as well on the show. Champion of Evo, by the way. Am I missing one more?
The one that we just filmed last month.
That's right. We filmed with Tori. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode. Yep. So I believe 6. We had 6 people.
We had 7.
We had 7 people?
You're missing one.
I'm missing one.
So you said Matt.
Yeah.
You said Los.
Yeah.
Tori.
Yeah.
Deshaun.
Yeah.
You said Ricky, right?
I said Ricky.
Tori.
Uh-huh.
You're forgetting our very first episode.
We had a different guest on our first episode? Who am I not thinking of?
Ready for the... Wait, can I count? Sean, Jamie, Matt, Los, Tori,
Ricky.
Oh, we had 8.
We had 8?
We had 8.
Jamie.
No,
you bad
said
Jamie?
Jamie.
Oh. Thinking.
Give up?
Oh, I know who. Mr. S.J. Brownman, handsome guy.
Yeah,
Mr.
S.J. Brownman. We had Cody. So, yeah, we had about 8 people on the show. We had Cody, Ricky, Deshaun, Matt, Los, Jamie, and Tori. Those are the 8 people we had on the show. That's not including Mariel and Eris.
I was like, how did I forget about Cody? I'm sorry, Cody. If you're watching this or hearing this, I'm sorry.
All right. These next 3 questions are kind of the same.
Okay.
But the answers are different.
Okay.
On our Valentine's Day episode, what advice did Mariel give?
Do not erase your man's 2K profile.
It wasn't. Yes, that's the answer. It specifically, yeah, that was the reason. But she said, never ever delete their progress.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't delete it.
Yeah. She made it note for sure.
All right. Following that, what advice did Eris give?
Just communication. That's the key. You know, having time for your partner. That was her main, what she said. It's still things she says to me to this day. And definitely make time for her.
Yeah. So she did talk about that. She specifically said setting boundaries and communication is definitely key, because then she feels like, yes, you should definitely let your partner unwind to something that they love to do. Yep. All right. The man of the hour, one of our favorites, Los. What advice did he give to new streamers?
I mean, I think his advice was, to keep doing it, be passionate about it, and like, who cares what other people think? It's like, because you're to find people that are just the same way as you. I guess it's just follow your dreams, basically, right? Just do it. That's what he said.
You got it towards the end.
Yeah.
What he said on the show, he was like, Nike got the best slogan. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That was the advice he gave to all the new streamers out there. All right.
That's very great advice, yeah.
Very great advice. We're not sponsored by Nike, but if you guys want to sponsor us, what's up? All right. Anyways. All right. We have tons of sponsors. Name all of our sponsors.
Pangaea New World Fusion, Rated E, Blissful Dreamers,
Dang, how are you going to forget the first 2 that sponsored us?
I know, that's why I'm
Wow.
Sternhart Collective. course.
Shout out to Sternhart.
Yes, sir. And then, it's my favorite. It's right here. I drank a little bit, so this doesn't hurt. This doesn't help.
Oh God. We just did a giveaway for them.
We did just do a giveaway for them. Oh my God, it's right in the tip of my tongue.
Ooh, I can't wait to tell her.
She's gonna hear it anyway.
I can't wait until she hears this episode.
She's gonna hear it anyway.
All right, if you're listening to this episode, the one he didn't say, and we just did a giveaway with them, is a whole bunch of some.
Yep, that's what it was.
Dang, and you did that one too, bro.
No, I'm such a fake.
Dang.
Fraud.
Dang, L.
Total fraud.
Damn, L sponsor.
Total
bro,
fraud.
I'm telling her. Ain't no way.
She's gonna hear it over. I apologize.
Exactly. I'm gonna be like, hey, you gotta listen to this specifically.
No.
All right.
Probably out of it.
Last question. No one knows this answer but you and I. What does CoFlop stand for? And how was the name created?
So CoFlop stands for, obviously, Co, as in like the person that's the strongest in the team. Flop was the one that sucked on the team. And how you technically came up with it, it was because you were traveling, and we started to come up with a name for the podcast that we started. And we're just thinking, like, what's going to be good? Co-op, good. I suck, you're good. And then it just came to you just randomly. You hear it by a text. I get a text like, Augie, I found it. I got it. And I was like, what, bro? What is it? CoFlop. And I was like, that's actually really good. And that's how we came up with the name CoFlop.
Yes. Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. So, the story of how CoFlop was created. I was on a work trip and I was coming back home. I was coming up with names for so long, and Augie basically said it. I thought of both of us. So what's a duo called in gaming? Like anything more than two, it's called a co-op. And at the time, I think I was watching a finals game or something like that, or a playoff game, and I was like, what do players do that I hate the most? Which is flopping. And I was like, honestly, in games, if Augie's not there, I'm going to flop super hard. Then I was like, flop, co-op, co-flop, fuck!
And he texted me right the fuck away.
And I remember I was running in the airport. I was already at my gate. I just started running in the airport. And my coworker was like, what are you doing? She goes, huh? Don't worry about it. And then that's how co-flop was created.
In the middle of an airport on a work trip.
Of the Dallas airport. Amazing, isn't it?
It's crazy where things get found.
I'm just surprised that I did it there. I was like, huh. Out of all the time, it took us, like 2-3 months to come up with just the name?
Well, because everyone had everything.
Exactly.
All the podcasts that had different names, so we wanted something original, and it does not get easily misfound on different Spotifys or YouTubes.
At least we found one. All right.
And we'll stick by it forever.
Yep. All right, y'all. See how many you think you got right. Let us know. Who knows? We might do another giveaway. You never know.
You will prove that you're not a fraud compared to me.
Yep. All right. Let's get into the next topic. All right. We are back. Wow. Told you there were good questions.
I know. I look like a fraud out there.
Kind of.
Kind of.
I'm not gonna lie. I did have to look up to myself, like look up into our archives, like some of those questions, right? Like I came up with the question, but I had to like look for the answer again. Like I'm not 100% on some of our stuff too, you know.
I feel bad for the sponsors though. I'm sorry. If you cut us off, it's cool.
Lena, if you're listening, him, not me. I'm doing great. I knew. Again, I created the question.
I haven't ordered from you, that's why. So it's my fault.
I haven't ordered for you in a while either, but still.
Shut up.
Anyways, we've talked about it. We have so much more to come. What's next for us, bro?
More episodes.
Definitely more episodes.
More content.
More content on the way.
More players.
More players, definitely. We talked about having more people on the podcast. Kind of just to see their perspectives as well, right? Like, we love to build this community, and we feel like bringing you players on here is what is going to give us the most joy.
Yep. And hopefully maybe some either solo projects. Who knows? You never know. Or together projects, but in video.
You never know.
You never know.
We even talked about doing streaming soon too.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for co-flop streams.
A lot of people have been asking for it.
We will get there eventually once we get all of our affairs in order. It gets kind of hard. The only time we really kick it sometimes is just when we do this or when we have dinner.
Which are nice.
What are some topics that you want to cover in the future?
Console wars.
Console wars. That's something I've been begging you to do for the past, how many, like 2-3 months now, but we keep talking about something else.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, bro.
We'll get to it.
I think another thing I want to talk about more is more like tutorials, right?
Yeah.
Because like I know for me, like I look up a lot of FPS tutorials, even though it hasn't really done nothing.
Like how to get better at something? Like
when I first got into Valorant, like I told myself, you know what, my friends want to play this. Let me at least try to get good. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we have like an endless amount of knowledge. Like even if we did like a fighting tutorial on Tekken, you know what I mean?
Pro tips and tricks. I get it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Or if I do like a build guide on an ARPG game, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of people would be interested in that, especially if they try to get into that.
Yeah, because it's just like building a guide is always like fun because you never know what's going to be meta in any ARPG game.
It's like a whole different world, yeah.
Exactly, because it's just like what's good now might not be good later. I feel like I could help out in that aspect too, you know?
It's like transitioning from like Pokemon to like serious Pokemon.
Right.
Like you go from like just getting your favorite Pokemon. Well, I'm like that's the one I'm very familiar with. It's like playing Pokemon for fun. You know, get your favorite Pokemon. Like, oh, I like him because he's cute. Oh, he's like because of his powers. But then you get into the real serious Pokemon where it's like breeding, make sure the natures, the IVs. I won't get too much into it, but that just goes into that nature.
Getting those perfect IV stats is something that I don't want to talk about anymore.
Triggering words.
But yeah, like I feel like more guides would be actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
More drinking games.
Drinking games would be fun.
We have tons that you and I actually play more constantly than we do any other video game or card game.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, what are some new goals, bro? What are we looking at?
I'm definitely looking at, hopefully get more players with us to listen with us, so that we can, up the ante, maybe like get the production going, add some more content, get some more things going, push us to get that drive in for this podcast to do a lot more than we're doing right now.
Yeah, I think one thing that I plan for us is for us to just be more interactive within our social media presence. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I feel like sometimes like we get caught off guard and I don't push out enough video content as we need to, like I'll push out one or two and I have so much I could push out, but I just don't make time for it.
Or even just interacting with their players. Maybe we can do something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe, a giveaway or something.
Ooh, and one thing that we have been talking about for a really long time, this is in the works. There's no date. This is all to be determined, to be announced, is setting up our own little like game day, even game tournament. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yes.
Because I know we've been talking about hosting one and just for fun, like a small fighting tournament, right? Like if we do Smash, everyone likes to play Smash.
Or Tekken.
Or Street Fighter or whatever.
Showers required.
Showers are required. Or even just having like a board game night, right? Like we get to meet people.
Ooh, yeah.
And have more of like, what's the word? Networking type of day.
Yeah, like a game social. Yeah, that'd be dope. I think I agree. Like at a restaurant or somewhere like close by. Yeah.
Ooh, another topic I would love to talk about that we need to do because I don't know why we haven't gone. It's just going to gaming cafes.
Yeah.
We have tons down here in the Bay.
And we haven't gone to one yet.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we have, but not together.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's something we can do.
That'd be cool.
But yeah.
I'm also wanting to talk about like new releases a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Marvel vs. Capcom, like how it came out digitally and physically after like 12 years of being locked up in a vault. Like that's big news, for like the fighting game community.
Yeah.
But things like that's like brings out the craziness of the part of the world. Even like controversies of like getting promised like skins, physics like in games, and that gets censored so quick without even being told until like the game comes out.
Exactly.
Topics like that we'll talk about more.
Exactly. There's so much we're gonna talk base on, and I'm so excited for our future. And let's just keep it going.
Yep, let's keep it going. Also, one project I'm hoping we can send out. I mean, I talked it as a joke, like, haha, you're like, come on, bro, we're not even gonna get that far. Merch.
Yep, merch. If you guys are watching this episode now, you guys probably even participated in the giveaway. We partnered up with Sternhart St Collective, and we got our own shirts made.
Woo!
It's fucking fabulous. We got their logo in the front, and then they supported us in the back. Sternhart St is a company that's been rocking with us since the beginning, and if you guys want to buy some, just let us know.
Yeah, we've been more than open to take orders. By high demand, we'll definitely put a work on it.
Hell yeah, man! Good year. Happy birthday, Koflop.
Happy birthday, Koflop.
With that being said, you can follow us on all social platforms: Instagram, TikTok, X at Koflop Podcast. You can even find us on YouTube if you really want to. You can also listen to us on Spotify. Yeah.
Hoping to put out more platforms as we go, but we'll get to those later.
And with that being said, we're Koflop Gaming, where we're good.
Sometimes.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Take care and be smooth.
Ooh.